What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Mark Cassera here, and today we're going to talk about the beneficial ownership information that has just been struck down. There's actually a lawsuit that just came out that was filed by the Small Business Association, a little private entity, the National Federation of Independent Business Owners. Actually, let me go ahead and just pull this up on the screen while we're here talking about it, because we're going to just jump right into it. So the National Federation of Independent Business Members actually filed an injunction, I believe it's called, to say we don't believe that uh, this overreaching of the federal government is constitutional, and they basically said we're not going to stand for it. And so this injunction was reported in Texas. And so I'm going to just read you a little bit. The whole thing about the BOLI, or not the BOLI, that's bank-owned life insurance, about the BOI, beneficial ownership information, was you had to report who, what, where, when, why, and how to the federal government if you were a small business and you had an LLC. If you had an LLC, you had to file this report on a fincen website, a government website. If you had an LLC, you had to put who you were, who your beneficial owner was or partner was, or if you had more than one partner, you had to list them all. You had to put your address, your business address, EIN number. You had to put all this information. And essentially, people didn't even know why. They were like, what in the world do I have to put this information? And why is the federal government collecting it? Now, here's two sides of every coin. The information supposedly from the government was trying to be created because they wanted to deter bad actors from starting businesses and being protected under the statutes of an LLC, limited liability, so that the people that didn't file, they'd be able to go ahead and check up on and say, you aren't doing business the right way, or you're not in compliance. And here's this. The worst part of it is if you were a good actor and you didn't file, you got a fine of up to $500 per day, $500 per day, up to $10,000, and 2 years prison, 2 years in prison if you didn't do this, if it continued to stay the way that it was. So that being said, we had this company file a lawsuit. And so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of read through it for you. Essentially what it means: a federal court issued a preliminary injunction that blocks the U.S. Department of Treasury from enforcing a law that required more than 32 million small businesses to submit personal identifiable information of each beneficial owner to the U.S. Department of Treasury, the FinCEN, right? This was the Financial Crimes and Enforcement Network that the government put in place to kind of deter money laundering and all that different stuff. And the deadline was by the end of December. The court issuance of a preliminary injunction blocks the U.S. Department of Treasury from enforcing the beneficial ownership information reporting requirement. Now, these guys basically go on to say that they believe that the BOI reporting requirements were harmful and invasive to small business owners. It basically was an overreaching of the government, which we know that is exactly what they love to do. And so this is a win for us. There was a lot of people who are very happy that they procrastinated up until this point, because although you could have done it on your own and you could have filed without any issues on the FinCEN website, I did multiple LLCs already. Sucks that I didn't push it off a little longer, but here's at the end of the day. If you already did it, it's water under the bridge. It is what it is. You can't retract that information. Now, hopefully it continues to stay blocked and they get rid of that law, that requirement, and maybe they get rid of that information as well. They'll go ahead and scrub the entire database. Who knows what they'll do with that information after all, but it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to harm you. Although the government will know who you are, where you are, what you're doing. It's not like they don't know that already. However, if you didn't do it, don't worry about it for now. You don't have to worry about the December 31st deadline, and you're not going to get fined $500 per day, up to $10,000, and 2 years of jail time. Now, that being said, you could have done this for free, or you paid somebody, a CPA, an attorney, somebody to do it on your behalf. People were charging anywhere from $200 to $500. you probably won't be able to get that money back because they did spend their time and effort doing something that they legit thought that they were supposed to do. Nobody was in a bad, nobody was trying to do harm to anybody when they were trying to help you fill that information out. Some people just didn't want to bother with it, so they paid $200 for somebody to get it done. Now, that being said, this BOI, this law that was set into place was proposed the last time Trump was in office, before Biden was in office. Now, it was in a big list of things, and Trump just signed off on it, but he vetoed it. And then when President Biden got into office, he signed it into law. Okay. There wasn't much talk about it. I mean, people mentioned it a couple of years ago, but there wasn't much excitement about it up until the last 6 months. That's the end of the rope. And for a lot of people, they didn't, I mean, it was like, you either do this or you're going to get fined $500 a day. And so a lot of people started talking about it. A lot of gurus were talking about it. I watched a lot of videos on it. I reported it on TikTok a couple weeks ago, reported it on Facebook. So a lot of people got it done. Some people didn't get it done because they were pissed off, and they just said, basically, I don't want the government knowing all my information. So they just didn't do it. Good on you. You pushed it off long enough to know that there's a lawsuit going on right now. So with that being said, guys, I just wanted to report that to you. If you haven't filled out that information on the FinCen website, pause right now. You don't have to worry. However, I will say this: subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, all the socials, because I will be keeping my eye on this, and I will be reporting the updates and where this suit takes place and what happens to it in the future. I'm going to be giving regular updates, especially short form video on my TikTok. Follow me, Mark Cassara, on TikTok, YouTube, obviously, and then Facebook. I'll be reporting this on Facebook as well. And if you haven't followed me on these social media platforms, my name is Mark Cassara. I'm a financial strategist. I help people protect and save money and help them mitigate some taxes as well. We got trust and estate planning going on as well. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to be giving a lot more information in the near future. I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you do have any questions down below, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. Until the next video, God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.